Hey, welcome, welcome. It's Riding with AMAP. Check out this awesome scene as the cars go by. Hey, I'm out here on a Sami. I've had busy 2 months. And of course, that hay trailer is going to be in front of me. Dang it! But it's volleyball season, so I've been coaching and have not been riding. But I finally got a free weekend. And I'm out and about. Trying to get my son to go with me today, but he was with his friend. And that's good to go out and socialize and stuff. But this is Roan Mountain. That's the visitor center. So if you ever want to come to Roan Mountain, that's what it looks like. But we're going to head up to the top. I put about 50-something miles on a Sami already. And it's a beautiful, beautiful day to ride a bike. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I love the twisties, love the twisties. This is a state park, so I kind of got to be careful with the rangers and whatnot. But I figured I'd come out and do a vlog. It's been a while since I've made a vlog on the street bike. And I've got some things to update you on. And again, there's that trailer. Maybe I can get around that trailer. But one of the last times I was out on Cora, the KTM, and I told you that my dad had prostate cancer. Well, he's been for 10 weeks, he's been in California, and he's been getting the photon or proton something or other treatments, and that went really, really well. He actually got an apartment down there for 10 weeks, and things went really well. The treatment went awesome. And it smells like hay. Wet hay. Brings me back to living at Grandpa's in the summertime. So, now that the hay's out of the way, my dad's doing well. And the reason that I know my dad is doing well is because I actually saw him living in Tennessee and him living in Oregon and going to California for his treatment. You know, we don't get to see each other that much. But the reason we saw each other was kind of tragic. It was my grandfather, his father, World War II vet. I think I've talked about him. I know I've blogged about him a few times. And he is 93 years old. And he had just in really good health. You know, he'd go to visit the doctor, and the doctor would ask, you know, like for checkups and stuff. Hey, we've been sledding on that hill in the winter. It's fun. But the doctors are always like, bring your medication, bring a list of everything you're taking. And when he shows up and they say, where's your list of medication? Did you forget it? He goes, no, I don't take any. So he was awesome. Really healthy. On a Saturday evening, him and his wife, who's 80-something, she's actually not in as good as health as he was, but she ended up wanting to make a quilt, so he got out all the quilting material. You know, there's a lot of wooden things that are involved with that, and he got it all out for her, and then he went out and he mowed the backyard. And he said, make sure you tell me when you need me to thread your needle for you. And so he's coming in, checking on her and mowing the grass, and he push mows his yard, right? He goes to the store, and the store is across the street. And every time I would visit my granddad, we would always walk to the store. That's just what you did. It was just, you know, it's like a supermarket. And it was just across the street. The street's pretty busy. It's a 2-lane street with a median in the middle, but it's still very busy. And you know, no big deal. His whole life, my whole life, I should say, he was always crossing that street. So he goes across the street and he buys some raspberries, And then he comes back that evening, and they have dinner and everything, and you know, kind of go about their daily business. There's a bunch of other things he was doing, laundry and going up and down the stairs and carrying laundry baskets and whatnot. Then that was on a Thursday. Then on a Friday morning, the very next day, they make jam together. But before they were making jam, he notices that the raspberries, they overcharged him. So he walks back across the street to the supermarket and gets his correct change and comes back. And then he mows the front yard, push mows the front yard, sweeps up the yard, and his grandson, my cousin, shows up with his great-grandson. And he goes, "Hey, how you doing? Are you guys hungry? How about some pizza?" And my grandfather was always concerned about everybody else. He was always noticing everybody else's needs before his own. And so he goes, and there's a Little Caesars by the supermarket. So he goes to cross the street, and he gets hit by a car. And dies instantly. The speed limit on that street's like 45. And, you know, 93 years old and perfect health, and as my cousin said in his eulogy, you know, we never thought anybody who lived to be 93 would die too young, but my grandfather did, and we're okay. You know, we're a hearty family. We celebrate life, and we know that death is just a part of that. Losing my mom's mom in the summer, and then losing my dad's dad in the fall, I've made it to some more funerals than I've ever been to in my life. So, you know, in a short period of time. But again, I was able to see my dad and get caught up with him, and be able to see my brother and my sisters. And they are doing well, and it was kind of fun because only one of my sisters brought their kids. So I didn't have my kids, nobody had their kids, but my sister who's closest to me in age. So we were able to just reminisce and talk and catch up and stuff without having to worry about, you know, whose kid needed what thing and who was fighting with who. So I'm about to the top of Roan Mountain. You can kind of see the colors are starting to change. Love that sign right there, that twisty sign, best sign in the world. When you're riding an SV650. Fuel injected. This is the N model, and I'm doing 60, and I probably should slow down for this corner when it says 20 on the sign. So a nice long sweeper, taking it at 50. Aha! But this is a good time of year. As I mentioned, I'm coaching volleyball, and this is probably the best team I've ever had. They are a wonderful group of girls, undefeated so far, and we've only got 2 games left. So we should finish out the season as the top seed for the tournament. We went to Gatlinburg a couple of weeks ago, and actually last week, and won that tournament. So it's been a good year for volleyball. Got to take my daughter with me to that tournament. She's getting old enough where she likes to come, and she'll sit on the bench and take stats for me. It's really fun. Good family time with me and my daughter. Oh, look at those colors. Look at that. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Fall is in the air. When I was in Gatlinburg, I saw a bear run across the road. It was like probably like an adolescent. It was pretty cool. Too many bikes yet today.